Welcome everyone. It's Josh Fidget. I'm here to bring to you pretty much episode 1 of Samurai Champloo. So we begin this episode with Mugen and Jin pretty much at the execution site. The governor says to Mugen and Jin that they're going to be executed and have their heads put on a spike, and that if they want to avoid this, that they would have to sort of grovel at his feet and beg for forgiveness. Mugen's not having any of that. Mugen's literally like, you know what, I'd rather die on my head held high than to serve, or pretty much to apologize or ask for forgiveness from a bastard like you. Which infuriates the governor and draws a smile on Jin's face, and Jin's like, I agree. So after that, the governor's like, well, alright then. So he tells his men pretty much to execute them. So that's pretty much the beginning part of the episode, and then we sort of have pretty much from the next scenes, pretty much going from the beginning of where this all started. So we begin this episode with the character of Fu. Fu works at a tea shop, and while she's working, she's seeing these really abrasive dudes. They're essentially sexually harassing the women. They're fucking being assholes, thinking they run the shit, essentially, that they own the tea shop. And Fu's pissed off about this, but the couple that owns the tea shop, her bosses are like, just deal with it. What can we do at this point? And we see Mugen come through into the tea shop. And Mugen looks like he hasn't bathed in about a year or two, maybe 3. His hair's unkempt, looks wild as fuck. And this automatic catches Fu's eye. Fu goes to Mugen. Mugen's like, I need water. And Fu's like, well, you're going to have to order something. And Mugen's not trying to order anything. Mugen's like, listen, if you give me 50 dumplings, I will handle these assholes for you. And she's looking, and she's tempted. But she's like, yeah, I don't think 50 dumplings is worth it. How about 20? Mugen's like, I said 50 dumplings. She's like, I really don't think you're worth it. So, at this point, Fu has, these abrasive assholes' tea, pretty much. And they call her over. Well, they yell for her to come over. So she's rushing. She trips. And the tea hits the main dude, I believe the governor's son or nephew, directly in the face, the tea, whatever. So he's pissed off. And he tells his man to hold Fu down. And he has what seems to be his number one protector, who's a samurai. Pretty much, the guys have the sword out, and he's thinking about which area of Fu he should cut off, whether her nose or her fingers or whatnot. And I believe Mugen shouts out, okay, 100 dumplings. And that gets Mugen's attention. Mugen enters the fray. Mugen's like, alright, let's do this. And the dude with the sword, the samurai, he's like, listen, man, I respect the fact that you have balls, but this doesn't concern you. And Mugen's like, fuck that. Mugen cuts the dude's arm off, which scares everyone in the tea shop. And then Mugen proceeds to slice and dice the rest of, the bodyguard team for the governor's son and or nephew. The nephew's scared as shit, but he tries to keep a calm face. And he says to Mugen, you don't understand. What you're doing to me the news is gonna go to the governor. And whatever you do to me, he's gonna respond in kind and make you suffer for it. And Mugen's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm from a certain island. I forgot the name of the island, but it scared the shit out of the dude. And Mugen proceeded to break the dude's fingers. So the scene after that, we see the governor. The governor's definitely an asshole. You have one of the workers in the town begging for, saying that he doesn't have enough money to pay the governor, and that if he loses his job, his family and him are fucked. The governor gives no shits. He's like, this is enough money, fuck you. Jin sees this, he wants to do something. One of the people in the crowd says to Jin, you really can't, don't get involved in this, because not only the governor powerful, he has 3 of the top samurais in the land at his disposal as his bodyguards. And Jin's like, fuck that. He goes up to the situation. He calls out the governor for being a piece of shit, essentially. And he calls out the samurai saying, I thought you guys were samurais, not pieces of shit just like the governor. And they took that personally. And Jin, like with the quickness, took out all 3 in a blink of an eye. And the money was to, I believe the worker had given to the governor, which the governor threw on the ground. Jin took some, as he said, for compensation for helping him out, and he leaves. And the governor is like scared as shit, trying to tell his men to charge him. And the rest of his bodyguards, they're like, fuck that now. So Jin enters the tea house, and Mugen asks, is this the badass samurai which everyone's talking about? Because I believe at some point during their conversation, Mugen and the governor's son, they talk about this badass samurai who sliced through the governor's top samurai officials. So Jin doesn't want to fight. Mugen's like, fuck that, I want some competition. And they're fighting all throughout the fucking tea house. And the samurai whose arm was cut off by Mugen, he sets the motherfucking tea house on fire. So Mugen and Jin at this point are fighting amongst the flames. They wake up tied up, kind of beat up, and the governor tells them, pretty much, you're going to be executed, and I'm going to torch you. So he tortures the shit out of Mugen and Jin to the point that they're in a cell, they can barely move. Jin insults Mugen by saying that you are the most undisciplined swordsman you ever seen. Your moves are like basic, and what else? Moves are basic and undisciplined. But despite that, you're the only swordsman I haven't killed. And Mugen's like, the name's Mugen. Jin tells him his name, so on and so forth. So Fu pretty much comes in and tries to break him out. And they're like, aren't you the girl from the tea shop? And she's like, yes, I need you guys to do me a favor if you guys want me to set you free. I need you guys to help me find the samurai that smells like flowers. Before she could break them out, the motherfucking thing breaks, and she has to run away briefly. So this takes us back to the execution part of the episode, and that didn't work out so well for the governor, because Mugen and Jin pretty much took damn near all, I would say at least 70-75% of the governor's men out with the quickness with their blades. And Fu sort of gave them a distraction. She sort of gave like a fire, not like fireworks, like a firework grenade or something that kind of gave them enough time to escape. So Mugen and Jin escape. They're about to finish their fight from earlier. Fu's like, wait, you guys are supposed to help me find the samurai that smells like flowers? And at that point, they're like, yeah, we did say that, but we really want to kill each other at this point. So Fu's like, she flips a coin. The coin says they gotta help her find the samurai that smells like flowers. So at that point, they're basically being chased by a fucking mob. And Mugen and Jin start running. So does Fu, but she trips. And that's how the episode ends. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like the video if you can. Subscribe to my channel. And rest comments down below. Adios.